What's up, Virgo? With your April love general reading. This is for my lovely Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is a general love reading and may not resonate with every Virgo out there, just so you know. So let's see what the most important messages are for my Virgos for the month of April in regards to love, for truth and clarity. Okay. Let's look at this. This Five of Wands coming out in reverse right in the beginning of the reading really tells me that this connection has been a struggle for you. Like there may have been a lot of fighting or conflict. There might have been a lot of disagreements, or maybe just areas where it felt like you weren't being heard in this connection. So it might have felt like it's really difficult for you to get this person to understand where you're coming from, like to see things from your point of view. Like no matter how hard you explain, they just don't get it. They don't understand what you're asking for. I think that expressing your feelings to this person has been a challenge to you, and you might have felt like they're holding back or they're a bit on the defensive a lot of the time. But I love that this came out first in reverse, because this really means that all of that struggle, whatever that conflict has been for you, that is coming to an end. So then we're moving into some really beautiful energy. It looks to me like this is a connection that you're going to want to stick around for, because you're moving into Empress energy, Six of Cups energy, Knight of Cups energy, Ten of Cups energy. Yeah, this doesn't seem like something you want to walk away from. This seems like a very important connection. The two of you are in each other's lives for a reason. So this Empress energy really shows a desire to connect with them. I think you have a strong desire to connect with this person, and I think that's reciprocated. It really shows a period of growth and abundance. So after coming out of this place of a lot of conflict and a lot of hurt, it looks like you're moving into a place of growth and a place where you feel like this connection can move in a more positive direction. Yeah, there's definitely movement here. This might be somebody that you have thought a lot about starting a family with, or someone you already have children with for some of you. It feels like that's something that the two of you might have discussed with this Empress energy here. It feels like your connection's going to grow, and that might even expand into having children. It just is coming across like this is a connection that you've really wanted to nurture, maybe for a long time, which is why you're finding yourself kind of asking this question, like, should I keep putting in all this energy? Because it does feel like it's something you really want to nurture. It's something you wanted to grow for a long time. And this Empress energy is showing that that's kind of paying off. It's almost like you were watering a seed and now it's starting to sprout and grow. So I'm also really loving the Six of Cups energy. The Six of Cups is such a sweet energy, and it really focuses on the good times and the happy memories. So I think that maybe it's either that you're just going to be more focused in that place going forward, but I think some things are going to change in your connection. It's going to allow you to focus more on the good times that you've had with this person, maybe even some of the good times and positive memories that you're creating right now. The Six of Cups also talks about like harmony, about cooperation. So if it's felt like the two of you have a hard time working together, can't cooperate together, that's coming to an end. Again, the Six of Cups is like, it has a like a child energy to it. So again, another indication that this might be a person that you start a family with. That would be a strong reason to not give up on this connection, because I think this is someone that's going to be in your life for a long time and play a very significant role in your life. If you're not interested in having children, then this is really about a lighthearted energy. It's about a childlike energy, and having a bit of fun. Knight of Cups energy is this is an offer. So I think that it's not something you're going to want to give up on, because this person's definitely coming to you with some kind of an offer. I do want to point out how this night is situated, though. This is a night that, yeah, he's real cute. Like, we have to just point that out. He's real cute. So this might be a person that you feel very attracted to, and that you just, like, you feel kind of like giggly and giddy when you're around them. But this night is not coming forward with a very aggressive energy. This is like, see how he's just sitting and waiting? He's like prepared a little picnic or something here that it looks like there's a love letter, and he's just sitting and waiting. So this kind of feels like energy that maybe you have been waiting for quite some time. You've been waiting for this offer, but this person isn't one to just like come out of the gate just rushing and declaring their love. This feels like something that's going to kind of like grow and develop over time. But once the offer is made, it's a true, genuine, sincere offer, and it's like an offer for a really long-term thing, like for a long-term commitment. We're coming also to this Ten of Cups energy. The Ten of Cups is that happy family card. Again, children. Like, even in the card, you see the children here in the background. So this is kind of a card about having it all and being emotionally fulfilled on every level. Again, if this is someone that you've thought about starting a family with, there is definitely energy suggesting that that is the direction that this would move in. With Empress energy, Six of Cups energy, and Ten of Cups energy. Yeah, definitely kids could be in the picture in this connection. So this really does feel like something worth waiting for. Let's look at your oracle cards and see. We'll kind of see like if they confirm what happened in the tarot. So we have summer. Summer might be significant for you. It might be when you hear from this person, or when the two of you met, maybe in the summertime. But really, I think the message for this card that's coming from this card is summer is all about like a lot of fun. It's about when things are in full bloom. And I think it's like, it's almost telling me like to let this connection bloom naturally. There might be a little bit of impatience on your part, and it might be because you've been waiting for quite some time for this person. But this summer card is kind of like telling me that there's the need to let things just kind of bloom naturally. Maybe take some of the like the heat off of it, take the pressure off of it, and just let things unfold. It's kind of like an opening up, like show your true self to this person. Yeah, there's like this, there's such a sweet energy that comes from the Six of Cups. So it's almost like be there for this person, and maybe in a different capacity than you had imagined, but just being there for this person, being like that listening ear, being that like that close friend, that loving energy around them, and just letting things happen naturally. It seems like that natural evolution is what leads to this Knight of Cups energy. It leads to this offer. Let's see what else we have. We have friendship. Yes, that's that Six of Cups energy. So there's this feeling of like just almost, see, this might sound weird, but it's almost like kind of backing up a little bit, like backing up to go forward. If this person feels very pressured, or if this connection has been really heavy and it's just feel very weighed down and very difficult, a lot of conflict, there's kind of this desire and this need for it to just lighten up. And like, it's almost like just be friends with this person. This person might be somebody that you have had kind of a friendship connection with, but it's that Six of Cups energy of like, maybe back it up to a friendship level, just so that everybody knows, like so the both of you realize we're there for each other, you know? And I think this person just needs time to loosen up. It's like, just have fun. Like, it does. It just feels like just having more fun in this connection. Go the distance. Yeah, definitely wait around. This feels like something to wait for. And I don't even know that it's really something that you'll be waiting for a long time on, but it feels like something you want to stick with. This is a connection of great importance in your life. So, go the distance and really kind of stick this out, even if it has felt difficult, because I do think you're coming out of really difficult energy here with this Five of Wands in reverse. But the important part is you're moving away from that. So this is going to lighten up. We have a couple more oracle cards, and these are like little messages, like kind of messages from your person. So I want to be more than friends. That's so funny. And what else do we have? I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Okay. It's really funny that this I want to be more than friends card came out with friendship and with the Six of Cups energy. I feel like this person is somebody who, if you pressure them, it might scare them away. And if you just kind of lighten things up and let things unfold naturally, then they're the ones that come to you and say, I want more than just a friendship with you. I want something more serious. And they're making this offer, this Knight of Cups type of offer here. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. I do feel like this is something that I think this is something that has grown both of you. So although it may have been difficult, and this conflict could have come from many different directions. This could be conflict between the two of you, or conflict because of outside forces that have made this connection more difficult or have stalled this connection. But it feels like both of you have learned a lot about yourselves. And I kind of think that for this person to get to this Knight of Cups energy and to actually offer this love to you and to be the one that wants to move forward, and who's openly communicating about that, I feel like there's a lot of spiritual growth that had to happen for that to, like, for them to get to that place. And this person, like, they're kind of giving you the vibe that it's not that easy for them to trust. So that might be some of why it's best to kind of approach this from a very friendly and supportive place, and to just kind of let this unfold naturally, because I think it can be hard for them to open up and trust. It looks like this person is deeply emotional, coming through as the Knight of Cups, a very emotional person, even if they don't seem that way on the surface. But with that vulnerability, that emotional vulnerability, also comes the ability to feel a lot of fear when it comes to like an important connection like this. So they may have felt a lot of fear around this, and they may have pulled away, or in some cases, I think maybe intentionally started conflict, to try to delay things. But I think that you're going to be bringing in like this lighter energy, this energy of just having more fun. This summer card, again, really could point to something happening in the summer. This is a timeless reading, so it could apply to any summer. It might literally be the summer. It might be like the two of you have time to reconnect, maybe take a trip, or just kind of like loosen up. Maybe you're out of school during that time, or you have a lighter load at work, and it just kind of takes the pressure off of this. But it feels like there's something that's just lightening about this, and like it is going to require something from you though. Like, I am drawn back to this Go the Distance card. It feels like you've been in this for a while. So that this message is really relevant to you. Like, you might have been in this for a while, and like it's really important to acknowledge how much work you put into this. But it's like, I'm coming in at the end of this. I'm coming in at this Five of Wands in reverse. So it's like all of the conflict and all the problems are behind you, and you're coming into a brand new cycle with this. So yeah, it has taken a lot of patience and perseverance in this, but it looks like there is going to be an offer of love, and this is definitely something you want to stick around for, because I think this connection is very important to you. So I think that's it. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, this looks like a connection that you want to wait for. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you liked this reading, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I'll see you again soon in another video. Bye. Hi, number 2. If you picked the clear quartz, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out if this connection is worth waiting for, or if you should move on. So let's jump right into the tarot. I already have your oracle cards shuffled. So we're going to fold a tarot, we'll talk about it, and then we will look at your oracle cards. So, should you wait? Should you stick around and wait in this connection, or should you move on? We have the Eight of Wands. Really fast movements there with that Eight of Wands energy. So something is going to happen fast in this connection. Five of Cups. Chariot. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Five of Pentacles. One more card for you, and then we'll talk about it. Bring up the Hierophant. Okay. Okay, this does not look like a connection that you should stick around and wait for. And hear me out here, because this isn't that you should give up on this connection necessarily, but it looks like there's an elephant in the room here. That's the feeling I'm getting from this. There's an elephant in the room in this connection. There's something that's leaving you feeling really dissatisfied with this Five of Cups energy, Five of Pentacles energy. Fives are all about change. There's something in this connection that needs to change. It seems like it might be difficult for you to take your attention off of what's not working here. So it feels like you're not satisfied because you're always having to pay attention to what's not making you happy, what's not satisfying you in this connection. It feels like that's something that's big and something that's important. So there's some fundamental problem in this relationship, something that it doesn't feel like you're that willing to budge on, even if you have made it seem like you are, or you try to, it's almost like you try to be understanding, or you try to make things work, but whatever is not working for you, it's like you're not going to be able to ignore it. You're not going to be able to move on from it. You're not going to be able to just say, it's fine, I'll just let it go. It's something very important to you because you have all of your attention on it. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you want to walk away from it, but it does mean that something needs to change. And what I'm seeing here is that something needs to change fast with this Eight of Wands energy, and that you need to take action in this connection. So we move into this Chariot energy, which is more of you taking action. This is about you moving forward. So the question is, are you moving forward with this person, or are you moving forward without this person? It feels to me like you are on a quest to find happiness. You're on a mission to find your own happiness. And that happiness might be found with this person that you're thinking of, and it might be found without them. But the message here is to figure out if that happiness is with this person or without them, because it looks like you're disappointed in the way that this connection is going. It seems like it's in your best interest to kind of speak up and to let this person know what's not working for you, and like what you're not willing to budge on. Because it looks like this connection has left you feeling really alone sometimes. Yeah, it feels like you're not getting the support that you need out of this. So for some of you, this might be like you already know the answer to this question. Like you already know that you want to move on from this because it just doesn't feel right, and you haven't been able to make it feel right. And it seems like you have so many plans, and you have such a bright future and so much direction that it's hard to be caught up in a connection that's not moving when you know where you want to go. Like looking at this Chariot energy, this person knows where they want to go, and they're moving there fast. They're going rapidly. That paired with this Eight of Wands energy, something is changing and fast. And I think this is on your terms when this changes. So this might be that you want to bring something up. You want to kind of like draw your line in the sand and see what this person does. This feels like It feels like you are kind of the driving force in this relationship and almost like you're the leader in this relationship. And whether or not you've been playing that leader role, I'm not sure, but it seems like you're stepping into it or stepping back into it. Like you're taking back your power and not allowing this connection or this person to kind of like rob you of your happiness or of your direction. So, um, it seems like if this is the sort of connection that if it gets off course, which it very well may have from what I'm seeing here, if it gets off course, you're the one that kind of steers it back. Um, you're going to be the one to say, hey, something's off, something's not right, something's not working. And this might be something that you have already said. And whether that's being heard or not can be a determining factor if you want to like keep going or move on. I am seeing a lot of your energy here, not a whole lot of their energy. So I think this really is more about you than it is about them. This is about you figuring out what you want and what your version of happiness is and really like standing by that. So it feels like a conversation needs to be had. Um, it feels like the rules need to kind of be laid out. This is what I'm willing to accept. This is not what I'm willing to accept anymore. And I also think that this is pointing to a lot of inner contemplation about exactly what you want out of this connection and exactly how long you're willing to wait. Because this might come down to a matter of like, I can wait and I have been waiting. I can wait for this long. I can wait like I can give you this amount of time, but I cannot give you any more than that. And really sticking to that. It just feels like you have so much to do, so much to experience, that this is robbing you a little bit of your happiness and that there's like this need to move on, to move forward. And yeah, I'm not getting like strong energy that that means you're moving forward without this person. I think that there's a discussion that needs to be had, but I think that there's a willingness on your part to move forward without this person if that's what you need to do to find your happiness. So that option is on the table. Like that's what I'm feeling from your energy. That option is on the table. I'm willing to take that step if it means that I can be happy. But it feels like at this point you're coming into a place where you're like the captain of your own ship. It feels like you are like you don't want to be at someone else's mercy. That's what it feels like to me. You don't want to be at someone else's mercy. So if they are not stepping up in the way that they need to, that you will naturally disconnect yourself from this person and that it will all happen very fast. It's either that the disconnection is going to happen fast or that the change in your relationship is going to happen fast. So it might be that this conversation that needs to be had is a huge wake up call. And whether this is someone you can actually have a conversation with or not, you might be in separation. Maybe you can send them a message, but it feels like for a lot of you, that communication about what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept might be a huge wake-up call and the thing that's needed to turn this around. But either way, it feels like you're taking more responsibility for your own happiness and doing whatever it takes for you to get to that place. Let's look at your oracle cards and kind of see what they say, see if they confirm what we've seen here in the tarot. So we have the crown chakra. The crown chakra, this is kind of interesting energy because this is our connection to the divine. So it feels to me like you know what you want to do in this connection. Like either way, you already have a really strong sense of how you want to approach this because it feels like this is something that you have received divine guidance about. So you kind of know if you want to make this effort or if you don't. You know in your heart of hearts if this is meant to be or if it's not. This might be something that you have asked for guidance on repeatedly, prayed about. It feels like it's weighed on you for a long time and you've kind of asked for that outside divine force to step in and help you navigate this situation. And then it's making me think that like your gut feeling about this and just kind of your inner knowing, as much as you might want things to play out a certain way in the 3D, your inner knowing is like is the truth here, and is your inner knowing is going to prevail, is what I want to say. It's whatever you feel is right for you in this connection is what will win out. Let's look at this. We have gratitude. So this card says, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities it presents. I do feel like this is not anything that you regret. This connection is not something that you have regret about. Even if you step away from it, you're not going to regret it. You're going to appreciate the experience. You're going to appreciate the growth. I think that if you do move on from this connection, you're going to be very, very clear on what you want. And you know what? Even if you don't move on, you're very clear now because you've been put through this about what you want out of this connection. So if that means you need to lay down the law and kind of tell this person what's what, like what's up, where are we going with this, what's happening, you are going to get so much clarity on that, or you already have, and you're grateful for it. It's almost like this hard experience, like, was it fun? No, but you grew in such a monumental way, and it's allowed you to kind of look back on that and think, well, I'm grateful that this has clarified things for me, because I think it has. It's made a lot of things clear. We have truth be told. Yeah, this is a conversation that needs to be had. I won't say that this is like for sure that you're walking away from this connection. For some of you, you are, and for some of you, you are not. But something about the connection is going to change. So if you are staying in this connection, something has to change. And if that doesn't change, I don't think you're going to be willing to do this for much longer. But it does. It feels like a conversation. It feels like you have a lot to get off your chest, and there's like things that you really want to communicate with this person about how you feel, like how you feel this has been going and what your expectations are. Yeah, this isn't a pure, the thing about this is not purely like, yes, you should wait, or no, you shouldn't. It's like you should wait if this person's on the same page with you when you have this conversation with them. If you're able to get your point across, and if you can come to some sort of agreement, it feels like something that is important enough for you to wait on. But if you cannot, it feels like one last attempt to do that might be the final straw in this connection. I think the ball, it's funny, it's like the ball is in their court, but at the same time, you're totally in control here. Like this decision is completely up to you. The only reason the ball is in their court is because it's like you're going to throw them the ball one more time and see if they hit it back. And if they don't hit it back, then it's like, I think I'm done with this, because I can't keep having the same conversations with you or expressing the same concerns to you. So yeah, if they meet you where you are, then I see this connection working and blossoming. And if they don't, I see you walking away from it. And I actually don't see you being all that upset about it. I feel you walking away in a really empowered way and really just like charging forward toward what you want to create in your life. So we have two more oracle cards, and these are messages from your person. So we have, sometimes I stay awake thinking about you, and I look for you everywhere. Yeah. This is not, like I was saying, this is an important connection, and this is something that's significant to both of you. If this person is hesitant, or if they're distant, or if they don't communicate, it's not because they don't have feelings for you. The feelings are definitely there. The feelings are definitely strong. And I think this feeling of gratitude kind of extends both ways. I think both of you are very grateful that this experience came into your life. It might have been the first time that either of you like felt true, deep love and connection in this way. So there's gratitude on both ends. This person is very hung up on you, very caught up on you, and it's not because of a lack of feelings that they're acting however they're acting. This is for other reasons. This is for something outside of the connection that's causing them to kind of make you wait and hold back in some way. But they think about you all the time, which is that's kind of a frustrating energy, but I feel almost like you've already been there and done that. You've already been frustrated about it, and you are coming to a place of just wanting to like like you want to look out for yourself at this point, and you want to make your own dreams come true. And if this person wants to come along with you, then that's great. If they don't, then I think you might be kind of moving on and finding other things that excite you, that you feel passionate about. I think the bit of hesitation in this reading is just that for some reason with this Chariot energy, I feel like if you do walk away from this connection, that it's something that could blossom in the future, but that you kind of have to like find your own path and lay down your own rules and your own boundaries. And it might take moving away from this person to kind of get them to kick into gear. But like I'm saying, the feelings for you are definitely there. So yeah, this might be a like give it some time situation. Like it might come back in. And honestly, there's no telling that you'll still be interested if this is something you walk away from and then this person wants to come back later. There's no way of knowing that. You might not be interested in them anymore. But it does feel like there's definitely something that hasn't been addressed here and that needs to. So yeah, a conversation needs to be had, and you might be moving on without this person. So maybe not the best news, but it doesn't actually feel that bad because I feel such an empowering vibe coming from you that it's like, I just don't get the feeling that you're going to be too hung up on anybody. It's like you've got your own fish to fry in a way, like you've got your own stuff to do, and if this is holding you back in any way, it's going to be so beneficial for you to move on and to move forward and to make some of your dreams come true. So I'm going to leave this reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am sorry, for a little bit of a downer reading, but I just have to say what I see, and that's what I see. So thank you again for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you did like this video, if it resonated for you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I'll see you again in another reading. Bye. Hi, number 3. If you picked the peacock or this is going to be your reading, we're going to find out if you should stick around and wait on this connection or if it's worth just moving on. So let's jump right into some tarot. We'll kind of see what the cards say about this connection. I already have your oracle cards shuffled, so we're going to pull some tarot for you, and then we will kind of use the oracle cards to confirm the message. So we have the 10 of Pentacles. That's nice energy to start the reading. Huh? The 5 of Swords. The Hanged Man. Ten of Swords. And we'll pull one more card for you, and then we'll talk about it. The Wheel. Okay. Okay. So it looks like this is a connection that you saw something here. Like there might have been a time the two of you were together and you were really happy and you were secure. Like there's a feeling of security here. It might be that you were like literally with this person and secure, or it could be that this is someone who makes you feel very secure and who you like you see a future with them. You've seen a strong connection and potentially a bright future for the two of you. Now, let me move into this 5 of Swords energy. This would suggest that there is some kind of conflict or falling out between the two of you. So something got in the way of this connection. It might have been a fight, a disagreement, maybe even loss of connection with this person in some cases. In other cases, this conflict could, of course, come from outside sources, but something stood in the way of this connection. It feels like you had to kind of take a step back. It feels like walking away, making the choice to walk away. So something may have happened in this connection that made you feel like you had no choice but to walk away. Or this could be your person's energy. Something has gone on that made them feel like they had no choice but to walk away or to take a step back. So this might have manifested in really a loss of communication and connection. It could have been just a change in the dynamic of the relationship. Maybe the communication just kind of went to crap, for a lack of a better way to put that. Just maybe something just happened that just made the connection feel a little bit more distant. If this is an argument or conflict between the two of you, I'm getting the feeling that like neither one of you feels like you won. It doesn't feel like you walked away like victorious. It doesn't feel like this was a fight that you wanted to have. Even if you feel like you made your point and like your points were valid, it doesn't feel like you won. It feels like you are overall like you've lost something by having to take a step back from this connection. This is coming through on both ends. So it doesn't feel like either of you felt like I feel like there might have been, in some cases, some harsh words exchanged here. And if that is the case, then it's like this person doesn't feel like because they said whatever they said, or if you were the one who maybe said something kind of harsh in the middle of a fight, it feels like there's like a questioning, like, was that worth it? Did I damage the connection beyond repair when I said those things? The Five of Swords also gives me this feeling of like defeat. So you might feel like you've been beaten, or like no matter how hard you try to make this connection work, it's just not working out. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of conflict. It'll be different for everybody. It might be a matter of a disagreement, something the two of you can't see eye to eye on. There might have been harsh words exchanged. There might be outside parties that are kind of getting in the way and maybe even causing conflict between the two of you. It does feel like things have been put on hold in this connection with this Hanged Man energy. It feels like something is on hold, and it kind of feels like you are in limbo. Like you have this feeling like you've been put into a place of limbo, and this might not be for like, I feel like this is more to do with your person. Like it feels like through no fault of your own, you've been put in this Hanged Man position, in this position of not knowing what's going to happen or where this connection stands, when it might move forward again. I feel like in this case, this is like a situation where you don't see it right now. Like you're not seeing what the importance of this kind of like this time out, or this space of time where the two of you cannot be connected, but it almost feels like things in this particular connection need to be put on hold. Like it needed to be put on hold, and there's a bigger picture here that you can't see. This might be information that your person has that you don't have, or maybe just kind of forces outside of the connection completely at work here. And there's a reason that things kind of needed to slow down to a bit of a pause. But I think that that's what's important here is Hanged Man energy is paused energy. It's not stopped energy. So this is not an actual stop. It is a pause. I think that this person might have needed some time to gain some clarity, to contemplate, to think, maybe to even get some things in order, because there's this Ten of Pentacles energy here is something that I'm getting the feeling both of you saw. Like you saw the potential here. So it's a vision that both of you have, but something then slowed the connection down to a pause. This feels like giving it time to allow things to play out, giving it time to get a little bit more clarity on this. It feels like this person really needed this time. And it's like, it's funny because this energy is coming through really more as your person, this Hanged Man energy. This Ten of Swords energy is coming through as you. The Ten of Swords is more of a full stop. The Hanged Man energy is a pause, and the Ten of Cups is like a walking away and the end of a cycle. So it feels like your person's here in this paused energy. Meanwhile, you're over here walking away, or wondering if you should walk away, feeling a lot of times like you really should walk away from this connection. I'm going to tell you right now, the cards here are telling you to not walk away from this connection. It really is an acknowledgement of the lack of movement here, and an acknowledgement of your feelings and your desire to maybe want to put this behind you. But it's an end of a cycle. It feels like it's maybe not going anywhere, and you actually, like, you see the way she's walking here, she doesn't actually know where she's going. Like, this area out in the distance is just kind of undefined. So I think that there's this feeling for you of like not knowing where you're headed with this and not knowing where this is going. It feels almost like you turned around and maybe started to walk away because you just don't have the answers that you need. You're not sure if you're ever going to come out of this place of limbo. I think for some of you, you don't even know what's going on because the communication isn't there. So there might just be this feeling or maybe encouragement from other people. Friends, family members might say, like, you need to move on from this. You need to walk away. And of course, that is your choice. It's evident here why you would want to, but it's like holding on to this vision. It seems like this vision might be worth it. I'm also noticing this theme of these birds kind of like flying through these cards. So birds might be significant to you. Travel or distance might be significant in your connection. There might be actual physical distance between the two of you. But yeah, I think at times you wonder maybe why you're here, or you feel like almost like you have to walk away. I don't know why, but this card's giving me the feeling of like, when you start to walk away hoping that somebody will call you back, like you make it look like you're going to walk away. You take a few steps, but they're very slow and tentative because you're hoping you'll hear that call so you can turn back around. That's the energy that this Ten of Swords is giving me. So it feels like you're open to the idea of this person coming out of this stagnant energy and letting this move on. So it does feel like something that you want to wait for. But also the 10 is the end of a cycle. So it's probably that you're coming to an end of this particular place that the two of you have been. You have 3 10s out. You have the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, and the Wheel, which is number 10. So definitely some things are wrapping up. There's a feeling of completion. So if there's something you've been waiting on for a long time in this connection, besides this person coming out of the Hangman energy, there might be certain things that need to change in particular that can bring them out of the stagnant energy. It feels like that energy is shifting. The Wheel coming out at the end here, I'm loving the balance here. I'm loving the 10 of Pentacles and the Wheel being on either end of this connection. And that's what's really leading me to think that this is a connection that you should stick around and wait for, because you're really anchored in some positive energy here. And I like the kind of repeating imagery here of these circles on either end of your reading. It's like kind of like a feeling of infinite love and like bringing us back to this idea of cycles and the two of you going through this cycle. The Wheel of Fortune is a very lucky card in its upright position. It means that things are changing for you. The tides are turning in a more positive direction. So yeah, definite lucky card here. It's also a lot about things that are out of your hands. So whatever stalled this connection might be something that was just out of your hands. It might be a matter of like outside forces, people determining things about your relationship, or physical distance that couldn't be overcome for a period of time for whatever reason. And it's like sometimes we just have to allow like beautiful things to happen for us. And the Wheel really kind of represents that. So this is after a period of waiting. This is after a period of uncertainty and of disappointment that you're coming into this more positive energy. It really looks to me like with this 10 of Swords energy, it looks like there's a defeated, like you have a little bit of a defeated feeling, like you have thought about walking away, or you maybe have even started to disconnect yourself from this connection because it feels like you're defeated sometimes. Like it feels like you've already lost, like you've, like the connection has failed, and like you just want to walk away from it. Yeah, so I'm loving this Wheel coming out after that, because it's like this is a very defeated energy. This is somebody walking away reluctantly but doing it anyway, and this feels like you're going to get an indication that this is something worth waiting for. Let's look at your oracle cards and we can kind of see if that confirms the message that we got from the tarot, or if there's some other little nuggets in here for us. So we have the sacral chakra. This is a really kind of like a passionate energy center in our body. So there's probably a lot of passion, a lot of physical attraction between the two of you. This is also kind of our emotional center here. So this is encouragement to really explore your emotions in this connection. And it feels like this connection might have been quite an emotional roller coaster for you thus far. And I kind of like, I see that in these tarot cards too. Like, starting out with such a healthy image of how this could be, how this could go, and like such a hopeful, beautiful energy, and then kind of moving into more confusion and conflict and stagnation, and getting to the point where you want to walk away from something that you know could be beautiful. And then I think I just don't think your roller coaster is over when it comes to this connection, because this wheel energy coming in is going to shift things a lot in a really great way, but it's going to be a real change from this Ten of Swords energy. Okay, we have failure here. So this is, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. This is what we were just talking about. This is that Ten of Swords energy. I do think that a lot of you thought that you had failed. This isn't something you should take personally, but I think in some ways you maybe have taken it as a personal failure, that you couldn't bring this connection together, that you couldn't figure out how to make it work. And you might feel like you failed yourself, or like you failed this person, or like you failed somebody else outside of this connection by not being able to bring this together. So there's a lot of like heavy energy, and a lot of energy of you being down on yourself about this not working, or maybe about just not having the answers. I do think that for a lot of you, you kind of like gave up and accepted defeat when it came to this connection. Emotions are high here, like we saw with this sacral chakra energy. Emotions are high, and that's what would kind of push you to this place of feeling like a failure if you can't make this connection kind of like pan out. But it's really nothing for you to take personally. Let's see what else we have. We have serendipity. This is the wheel energy all over again. This is about, about fate. So something's turning around in this connection, and it might seem like it kind of comes out of nowhere. It might seem like whatever problems were there just magically vanish. So I definitely think you want to stick around to see how these problems are going to be magically resolved for you. But there's an element of chance, there's an element of destiny and fate. And because all that's playing in, I know that this is an important connection that you don't want to let go of, because there really is kind of like a divinely guided sense of how this is moving. It doesn't feel like this has been an easy road at all. So although there are going to be some things that happen that kind of make it seem like it just magically happens and like everything's just falling into place for you, there really is the acknowledgement here that this hasn't been easy, and that you have done your fair share of waiting when it comes to this connection. But this is good luck. This card is really good luck. Yeah, and things turning around just like this wheel. So we have two more oracle cards. These are messages from your person. So let's see. I lost myself for a little while, and we will be together again. Love that energy. So there's definite confidence there. There's hopefulness coming from both ends of this. I feel like this person knows that they have kind of fallen off their path a little bit, needed a little bit of time to recover from that. And that's why they're in this stagnant energy. But it just feels like they know that it's going to work out, that the two of you are going to come back together at some point. They're just very confident in that. They're confident in their ability to work through all these problems and get everything all situated and then come back to you. Yeah, it feels like it feels a little bit like, how can they be so sure that you'll be there waiting for them? I think you will be, but I do think you've had your moments of questioning that yourself. Especially if they don't communicate with you. Like, how would you know that you need to wait? But I think that they definitely just needed a little bit of time with this, and that's why they're in this hanged man energy, which again, that's a pause. That's a pause, not a stop. So yeah, they might have needed to take a step back and pause, but they never stopped. They never stopped thinking about you, and they never stopped believing in this connection. They didn't stop believing in this Ten of Pentacles energy that both of you saw. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. really beautiful energy, a lot to decipher, and I feel like you've really been through it with this, and you kind of got to the end of your rope here with this Ten of Swords energy, but I am happy to see that things are going to be turning around for you. So if you like this video, if this resonated for you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it, and I will see you again in another video. Bye! Hi, number 4, if you picked the hematite, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out if this connection is worth waiting for, or if it's in your best interest to move on and to kind of leave this connection in the past. So let's jump right into some tarot. And we will see what the cards say. I already have your oracle cards shuffled, so we will kind of confirm the messages we get through the tarot with the oracle cards after we talk about them. So we have the Four of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, King of Wands, and we had 2 come out. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Wands. Okay. All right. It looks like in this connection, this person is not offering you, it's like you're not satisfied with what's being offered in this connection. Like it's not enough. So this does feel to me like something you've been thinking about for a long time. It doesn't feel like a decision you've taken lightly or anything. Like you've really had this on your mind for a long time, and there's been a lot of inner contemplation with this. This Four of Cups here. I get this feeling from you that it's like there's a chance, there's a chance it could work out. Like that might be what's kind of frustrating about this is that there's a chance it could work out, and you think about it a lot. You think about like how you could make it work out, but something about the connection just isn't satisfying you. So you're holding on. Yeah, it feels like you're holding on for a particular reason. It'll be different for everyone. This could be because they made you a promise at one point and you're like waiting for them to make good on that promise. It could be because you had a vision of how this could go and you're just really holding on to that. But for some reason, you are holding on to this connection. And either way, like no matter what it is that is making you hold on, it feels like you're really closed off to other possibilities. Like there's a lot of commitment here with this connection and you have closed yourself off to other possibilities. So I don't think, it feels like you're really waiting for this person. It doesn't feel like you're like dating other people or going out there. If you are, then it feels like it's like you're not taking any of it seriously. There's a part of your heart that's always reserved for this person, no matter who you're in communication with. I'm almost getting this energy from you that feels like that it's not going to happen right now, but some part of you really feels certain that this will happen in the future. But it's like almost like you've resigned yourself to the idea of waiting for this connection. So that can mean different things for different people. That could mean for you that like you have a certain date or like a timeline. Like maybe this person is telling you, I can't be with you until this point. Like maybe they live far away and they're not able to move closer to you until this certain point, or they have to finish up schooling or something, and then they can come. So it's almost like you have an idea of when this connection could come together. And like you're waiting for that. So I think some of you do have a clearer idea of something that this person needs to get in order, or some amount of time that needs to pass, or a distance that they need to travel in order for this connection to come into full existence. But with this Two of Pentacles here, it seems like you are kind of like, you're weighing your options. You think about this a lot. And I think there's a part of you that's wondering, should I trade my happiness right now for happiness that's promised to me in the future? Like, how much time and how many opportunities do I let pass by as I wait for something that is supposed to come in the future? And I do think you know that this is something that can make you happy, but at the same time, you do notice that a lot of opportunities do kind of pass you by while you're in this place of waiting. I feel like truthfully you're tired of waiting. This Four of Cups energy, it's like there's an exhaustion here. I think there's a commitment, but there's also kind of an exhaustion when it comes to this connection. It looks like you are kind of the visionary in this connection. So it feels almost like you're waiting for this person to help you realize your dreams. Like you've connected a lot of your visions for the future and a lot of your happiness to this person. It almost might be like you can't really imagine your future without them because there's been so much thought and so much planning in terms of what the two of you will do one day. So it's kind of hard to like imagine that not being there. But you're definitely the one that has the clear vision of where you want this connection to go, is how I want to put it. You have a much clearer connection than, maybe not than they have now, but I think you've always been the one to have like a connection, a clear vision of where this connection is going to go. I think you feel powerless sometimes when it comes to this, like they have a little bit too much control, like they're dictating how this is going and how it's going to play out, and if you're ever going to be able to realize that dream of yours. So you can feel really powerless, but you are in control of your choices. So that's always like really important here. If this is too much, then you're in control of your choices. I'm saying this because I'm about to tell you that although I'm saying all of these things, I think this is a connection that you want to wait for and that you will wait for. This Seven of Pentacles energy in reverse can talk a lot about giving up a little bit too soon, like giving up right before you harvest your crops. Now, there are different ways to interpret the Seven of Pentacles. So this can also be interpreted as you not being satisfied with the harvest that you've reaped. But in this connection, I feel almost like you haven't really reached a harvest yet. Like it hasn't had the opportunity to blossom into anything. So you don't know if you're dissatisfied with this yet. And it feels like if you were to give up on this connection, you would be giving up, a little bit too soon. Then we have this Five of Wands energy. So there's definitely a disagreement, a difference of opinion, some kind of conflict. It feels like maybe neither one of you is really being heard here. It kind of feels like you don't feel like they're truly listening to you, listening to how you feel or what you need. You might be surprised to know that this person feels exactly that same way because there's something that the two of you aren't communicating very clearly about. So you might think that you are being very open and understanding and communicating very clearly with this person, and it might feel to them like they aren't being heard and understood at the same time. So again, like going back to that, it might be that there's some kind of disagreement about the time frame, about when things can happen. And you each have your points. You each have like kind of your reasons why and valid points on either end. And because you can't really come to an agreement about that, it can kind of feel like neither of you being heard at some point. There is tension here. I think you both want the same thing. So I'm going to kind of reserve, I can see this going either way. I'm going to look at your oracle cards and look at it as a whole and see what's going on. I can see this going either way. I can see this being something that you're really not satisfied with and you want to walk away from. And I can also see it as something that has been very difficult for you and has been a long wait, but like you don't want to give up right before things turn around. So let's see what these oracle cards have in store, and then we'll kind of like come to a final conclusion. I am drawn back to this Four of Cups energy, so it feels like you really might not be satisfied. And if you're not satisfied, then you have to kind of step into that King of Wands energy and take control of this situation and realize how much choice you have. So we have clearing. Yeah, this card is about really kind of like clearing away some of the negative energy. Um, and maybe kind of dissolving, like this Five of Wands energy, if there's conflict here, it might be about dissolving some of that. Let's look. Okay, imagination. So this is, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So I'm kind of getting like, I am being just drawn to the idea that you have a lot of control and power when it comes to this connection. And maybe this is about how you view this connection and viewing it um, in a more positive way. We have breathe. Yeah, that's what okay. What I'm feeling here is that if you're able to kind of like put this stuff behind you, that this is a connection worth waiting for. If you're able to clear away this negative energy, if you're able to not focus on the bad parts of this relationship and really look at this more positively, then it feels like this is a connection worth waiting for. It feels like something like you're going to have to work at this, like center yourself and kind of let go of some of the hurt and some of the conflicts. And if that's something you're able to do, then it's like, wait. And if it's like something you're not able to do, then I feel like you have to move on, because I would be bringing in too much baggage and too much negativity into this connection, and it's never going to be able to be like what it could have been. Really, like, this is kind of interesting energy, and I hate to not be able to give you like a definitive answer. It's just that you're going to have to kind of navigate this for yourself and decide if, like, kind of decide if you can move past this. Can you forgive? That's what it is. Can you forgive this person? If you can forgive this person, then you should wait. If you cannot, then you really shouldn't wait, because it's going to taint the entire relationship if there's so much resentment here. Let's get some messages from your person. I wish I could take back my words. So there might have been harsh words exchanged here, some kind of big fight, some kind of big blow up that created distance between the two of you, and your person feels regret about that. I wonder if you're happy without me. Oh, I feel so bad. Yeah, this feels like a separation type of energy. And like something that both of you really still want to hang on to. I don't know if there's much belief on either side that it can come together and that it can be okay, but what I am seeing is that it will take forgiveness, and it'll take kind of like it'll take some work in clearing away that negativity and moving past these conflicts and this hurt and the disappointment. And if you can do that, then it feels like something both of you want. But that has to be on both sides. The forgiveness has to be on both sides. Yeah. I think this person may have handled some situations very, very poorly. And if you see that they have changed, which it looks like, because I do have some regret here, but I wish I could take back my words, they might have some regret with how they behaved. And if you see that change in them, then I do think it's something to wait for. If you do not, and if you do not have communication from this person, then yeah, I think you're dissatisfied, and you need to walk away. And it might, if you're further along in this connection, if this Seven of Pentacles energy really resonates more for you as like, I'm not happy with my harvest, like I worked really hard on this and I'm not happy with what I have, and there's still a lot of conflict, then it feels like something to walk away from. So yeah, maybe not the most positive energy, but it does feel like something that can be in your hands, in your control, if this is a matter of just releasing negativity and kind of like starting off on a new, like on a new path, on a new journey with this person. You might have to really forge a new journey and put all this behind you. But if that's not possible, yeah, this is definitely something to walk away from if that's not possible. So if this reading resonated with you, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. Yeah, again, kind of a heavier energy, but it doesn't have to be. You can kind of decipher that for yourself. Yeah, I loved hanging out with you. Hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. I loved hanging out, and yeah, bye guys. Bye.